About 6 months before the Spanish Civil War, and Generalissimo Franco looked at it as a pacifist tract and had it banned. Hitler burned it. Mahatma Gandhi, on the other hand, found it to be his very favorite book. With that, we will give you Ferdinand the Bull. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot in the pasture under a cork tree. And he would sit in its shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your heads? She would say. But not Ferdinand. He would shake his head. I like it better here, where I can sit just quietly and smell the flowers. And because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there quietly and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. All the other bulls he had grown up with in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with each other's horns. And what they wanted most of all was to be picked for the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, roughest, fastest bull of all to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting, leaping and jumping, so the men would see them and think that they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. He didn't look where he was sitting. And instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? Ow! Did it hurt? He jumped up with a snort. He ran around, kicking and butting and pawing at the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw this and they shouted with joy. Here was the fiercest and largest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. What a day it was. Flags were flying, bands were playing, and all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderilleros with long, sharp pins to stick in the bull and make him mad. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him even madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome, and he bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. When he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the banderilleros were mad. And the picadores were madder. And the matador was so angry because he couldn't show off his red cape that he cried. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he's sitting there still, under his favorite court tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. He is very